All right, we have Darren Copeland.
Yes.
Joining us now.
A weekly guest, our
Yes.
weekly voice of reason. Darren doesn't, we talked about this last week. Darren didn't get upset.
No.
We talked about running the football. He was calm. He said if we can get the run
ball,
game going,
we'll do fine.
We're going to be fine, and here we are, Darren.
Yeah, well, you need the balance in order to be able to get all those play-action passes working. And talking with some of the people from, about last week, I was talking about some of the reporters, and they were saying that, they sort of let that get away from them. They sort of lost track of, run and pass, and they just really started passing, and that was on them, and they did a much better job. I think you also saw a redemption game for the offensive line because, they did get a lot of heat, and, regardless of what some of the offensive line would say, they know what was going on. So I think this is a good game. It's a good prep for next week. I actually thought that Miami was going to give the Broncos a lot of trouble. This is a team that does give them a lot of trouble, and it really says some good things going into next week against Kansas City.
And don't you think that by running the ball more, you help the offensive line be better? Because they need to do improvement.
Yeah, you do, because run blocking is much easier, and it's much more about mentality as opposed to pass blocking. In pass blocking, you're retreating, you're giving ground, you're making sure that the other team doesn't get to your quarterback. Whereas run blocking, you get a road grade someone, you get to push someone over, and that's sort of the mentality that you want your offensive line is to go over and push somebody and knock them over and put them down on the ground and pancake block them, and that's a better mentality for an offensive line to have.
Exactly. I mean, when you're retreating and going backwards 50 times a game, it's not good. Every offensive lineman will tell you they'd rather run the football, run block than pass block because you're firing off. And it's also, Darren, a confidence thing. When you can move the defensive line back on 3rd and 2 and get a first down, then the defense knows you can push them around. The offensive line gets confidence. They were lacking confidence before this game, but I think, as I said earlier, you got to feel a whole lot better about that O-line as a unit going to Kansas City on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you do. And, in fact, in the locker room after the game last night, everybody who was talking to the media was making a point to say how well the offensive line played. And I think that was that they knew that they need this offensive line as constructed to be to be what they can be and what they were against Miami going forward. Because if they can play like they did yesterday, that's a team that can win the Super Bowl, not a team that has to throw it 50 times a game and can't run the ball.
Exactly. They'll tell you, everybody, even the defensive side. Pot Roast said we won't win a playoff game if we don't have balance on offense. If you can't run the football, 201 yards rushing, 257 passing. That is almost a perfect balance. Peyton throws 4 touchdown passes. I mean, yesterday was the perfect example.
Yeah, and on the flip side, the defense, I thought that Miami was kind of running on the defense pretty handily early on. I think it took the defense by surprise, Broncos defense, and then that changed in the second half.
Well, I'm not sure that it should have come as a surprise because they ran all over the Chargers. They ran all over New England in a win earlier this year. That's kind of what they do. They use Tannehill as sort of that mobile guy. So they give the Miami Dolphins gives people problems, and I knew that going in that they were going to give the Broncos problems on defense. The one problem in the defense, you got they're not a very good red zone team, Miami, and they scored 4 times out of 4 in the red zone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Darren, good thoughts.
Thank you very much.